Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk about a subject that often stirs emotions, fuels conversations, and sometimes even heals broken hearts. When a man loves you, love is one of the most profound and powerful forces in the world. It changes how we see ourselves and how we treat others. But when a man truly loves you, something deeper happens. His actions, intentions, and character reveal a love that goes beyond words. It is consistent, selfless, and rooted in respect. In a world full of noise, where words are often cheap and promises are made casually, the difference between someone who says, "I love you," and someone who truly means it lies in what they do, not just what they say. When a man genuinely loves you, his actions speak volumes louder than his words ever could. He doesn't need to constantly remind you that he loves you for you to feel it. You see it in the way he prioritizes you. He makes time for you even when he's busy. He doesn't make excuses. He makes effort. His love becomes visible in the little things, checking in when you've had a tough day, remembering things that matter to you, standing beside you when life gets rough, and celebrating with you when things go well. Is not always in grand romantic gestures, but in small, consistent acts that communicate, "You matter to me." True love is also about consistency, not convenience. A man who truly loves you will show up not only when it's easy, but especially when it's difficult. He doesn't disappear when problems arise. He leans in. He wants to solve things, not escape them. His love doesn't come with conditions. It remains steady even when you're not at your best. He loves the real, raw, and unfiltered version of you. And this kind of love doesn't leave you wondering. There is clarity, not confusion. You don't find yourself second guessing where you stand or trying to decode mixed signals. You don't have to chase it or beg for it. It's just there, present and unwavering. A man who truly loves you makes it clear through his behavior that you are valued, respected, and cherished. His love becomes evident in how he treats your heart. He doesn't play games. He protects your vulnerability, not exploit it. He builds you up instead of tearing you down. And even when he disagrees with you or when you both face struggles, he still chooses kindness, patience, and understanding. Because in the end, love isn't just something you say to someone, it's something you do for them over and over again. And when a man loves you, his actions make that love undeniable. When a man truly loves you, you feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. There's a calm that settles over your heart because you know you are with someone who honors your peace, not someone who constantly disrupts it. Safety in love means that you don't have to walk on eggshells. You don't live in fear of saying the wrong thing or being misunderstood. You don't feel pressure to perform or pretend to be something you're not. You can show up as your authentic self, flawed, vulnerable, and human, and still be met with compassion rather than criticism. This kind of emotional safety creates a relationship where healing can happen, where trust can grow, and where love can thrive. It's the opposite of a relationship where you're constantly worried about being left, where arguments are explosive, or where silence feels like punishment. When a man loves you, he becomes a refuge from the chaos of the world, not another source of it. He does not use manipulation, guilt, or passive-aggressive behavior to control you. Instead, he communicates openly, listens patiently, and handles conflicts with a desire to resolve, not to win. His tone is gentle, his words are thoughtful, and his presence is grounding. Even when disagreements arise, as they naturally do, he doesn't make you feel small or ashamed. He's more interested in understanding than being right. In a loving relationship, safety also means predictability. not in the boring sense, but in the secure sense. You know where you stand. You know he won't vanish when things get hard. You don't feel like you're in a relationship one day and guessing the next. There's consistency in how he shows up for you. You're not drained by constant ups and downs. Instead, you're energized by the emotional stability he offers. His emotional safety allows you to rest, to grow, to breathe. It gives you the confidence to invest in the relationship because you know it's not built on fear or uncertainty. When love is real, it's not a constant battle, it's a sanctuary. One of the clearest signs of a man's love is in how he listens to you, not just with his ears, but with his presence, his attention, and his heart. Listening deeply is not just about hearing the words you say. It's about truly understanding what you mean, how you feel, and what you need. Even when you don't know how to fully express it, a man who loves you listens to understand, not just to respond. He doesn't cut you off, dismiss your feelings, or try to immediately fix things just to move on. Instead, he leans in. He puts down his phone, looks you in the eye, and creates space for you to be heard. He wants to know what's happening in your world, your hopes, your fears, your frustrations, and your dreams, not because he has to, but because he genuinely cares. He also listens beyond the surface. He hears the emotion behind your words. He notices the shift in your tone, the hesitation in your voice, or the silence when you don't say anything at all. He asks questions, not to interrogate, but to connect. And he listens without judgment, giving you the freedom to speak your truth without fear of rejection. Even more, he remembers the little things you've shared, the names of people who are important to you, your favorite childhood memory, or how you like your coffee. That kind of attentiveness isn't accidental. It's love in action. In moments of stress or sadness, he doesn't offer quick solutions unless you ask. Sometimes he simply offers his presence. His listening becomes an act of love that says, I see you, I hear you, and I'm here for you. And in a world where so many people just want to be heard, having someone who truly listens is one of the most powerful expressions of love there is. When a man loves you, your voice matters to him. Not just your words, but your feelings, your truth, and your silence. Through his listening, he makes you feel valued, respected, and truly known. Respect is the soil in which true love grows. When a man genuinely loves you, respect isn't optional. It's automatic, fundamental, and unwavering. It's reflected in every interaction, in how he speaks to you, how he treats your boundaries, and how he values your individuality. Love without respect becomes control, manipulation, or obsession. But when respect is present, love becomes free, honest, and secure. A man who respects you does not talk down to you. He doesn't belittle your thoughts or dismiss your emotions, even when he disagrees. Instead, he listens to your perspective with openness. He may not always see things the same way, but he acknowledges your right to feel how you feel. He does not use shame or guilt as a weapon. Instead, he holds space for disagreement and finds ways to grow together through it. Respect also shows in how he talks about you when you're not around. He protects your name and your character, even in your absence. He doesn't entertain disrespect from others, nor does he involve himself in conversations or behavior that would betray your trust. A loving man will never use your secrets or vulnerabilities against you. He will guard them as sacred. He also respects your time, your goals, and your dreams. He doesn't try to control your choices or box you into a version of yourself that suits him. Instead, he encourages your independence, and he finds joy in seeing you evolve. even in directions that don't revolve around him. In moments of conflict, he does not resort to yelling, stonewalling, or manipulation. His respect keeps the conversation honest but kind. It allows you both to express hard truths without losing dignity. Respect doesn't disappear when emotions run high. If anything, that's when it becomes most visible. And perhaps most importantly, a man who respects you also respects himself. He holds himself to standards of integrity, maturity, and responsibility. He knows that loving you well starts with being someone worthy of your trust, and he doesn't take that lightly. When a man truly loves you, he wants to see you grow, not just in the relationship, but as a whole, thriving individual. He celebrates your evolution, not fears it. He understands that real love is not about possession or dependency. It's about support, freedom, and mutual development. He doesn't view your success as competition. Your accomplishments don't threaten him, they inspire him. He doesn't feel the need to shrink you down so he can feel bigger. Instead, he pushes you toward your dreams, even if those dreams take you to places he's not familiar with. He offers encouragement, not discouragement. When you doubt yourself, he reminds you of your potential. When you're tired, he helps you refocus. When you win, he cheers the loudest. Growth isn't always glamorous. It can be messy, uncertain, even painful. But a loving man stays through all of it. He doesn't abandon you during transitions. He's not just there for who you are now, he also believes in who you're becoming. He invests in your journey, even when he doesn't fully understand every step. He doesn't try to mold you into someone you're not. He doesn't project his insecurities onto your ambitions. And he doesn't ask you to dim your light to make others more comfortable. Instead, he recognizes your greatness, even before you fully see it in yourself. That's the kind of support that builds legacy, not just relationship. A man who loves you also grows with you. He's committed to his own development, and together you challenge each other to rise, to communicate better, live deeper, and aim higher. His love is not stagnant, it's active, alive, and always moving forward. One of the most selfless signs of real love is sacrifice. Not grand dramatic gestures for recognition, but quiet, everyday choices made out of genuine care. When a man loves you, he gives, not to get something in return, but because he wants to ease your load, support your goals, and be part of your joy and your pain. His sacrifices are invisible to many, but deeply felt by you. He sacrifices his time, energy, and sometimes his comfort without constantly reminding you what he gave up. He doesn't keep a ledger or use his efforts as leverage in disagreements. When he gives, he does so freely, from a place of sincerity. He may drive across town just to see you for 5 minutes after a long day, or stay up late to help you through a tough time. He might cancel something he looked forward to because he knew you needed him more in that moment. These may seem small, but they speak volumes about where his heart is. This doesn't mean he loses himself or stops caring for his own needs. True sacrifice is balanced. It's not about self-erasure. It's about partnership, empathy, and the ability to put someone else's needs first when it matters most. A loving man finds joy in seeing you happy, safe, and fulfilled, even if it means making quiet, unseen choices in the background. He doesn't make you feel guilty for what he gives. He doesn't use sacrifice to manipulate or control. Instead, his giving is covered in grace. He serves the relationship, not his ego. And because his love is genuine, his sacrifices don't feel burdensome. They feel natural. Sacrifice in love is about choosing each other daily, not because it's easy, but because the relationship is worth it. And when a man truly loves you, you never feel like a burden because to him, you're a blessing. There's something sacred about the kind of love that brings peace, not excitement masked as anxiety, not passion that masquerades as chaos, but a deep, grounding peace that gives your heart a place to rest. When a man truly loves you, his presence becomes a calming force in your life, not a storm to survive. He brings emotional consistency. You don't feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster, never knowing where you stand. His words match his actions. His moods don't leave you guessing. He doesn't disappear without explanation, and he doesn't withdraw affection to manipulate. There's a rhythm to the way he shows up. Reliable, steady, and secure. Peace and love doesn't mean perfection or the absence of conflict. It means the presence of safety during those conflicts. When problems arise, he doesn't explode or retreat into silence. He communicates. He listens. He works with you to find solutions. He doesn't add drama to already stressful situations. He brings clarity, stability in how he treats you. He doesn't flirt with chaos, entertain temptation, or play emotional games. He respects your peace as much as his own, and he works to preserve it. He wants your relationship to be a source of relief, not a source of constant questioning. This kind of peace allows you to focus on your own life with confidence. You can chase your goals, manage your stress, and live your purpose without wondering if your relationship is on the verge of collapse. You can plan for the future knowing he's building it with you. When a man loves you, his love is a shelter, a quiet strength that stands tall even when the world outside is loud. In his presence, your heart knows it can finally exhale. One of the most profound signs that a man truly loves you is that his love transforms you in the best possible way. It doesn't weigh you down, it lifts you up. It doesn't make you question your worth, it helps you see your value more clearly. A man who truly loves you will make you feel stronger, not smaller. He will nurture your heart, not harden it. He will inspire growth, not resentment. His love doesn't leave you with scars, it leaves you with light. When love is real, it leaves a positive imprint. It encourages healing where there were wounds. It helps write the narrative you've told yourself after past pain. If you've known heartbreak before, his love will feel like restoration, not like repetition. You begin to feel safe opening your heart again, not because love is perfect, but because this time it's healthy, honest, and kind. A loving man builds you up with his words. He compliments your strength, your intelligence, your creativity, and your kindness. He doesn't pick apart your flaws or highlight your insecurities to gain power. Instead, he reminds you of your brilliance, especially when you've forgotten it yourself. You find yourself growing more confident, not because he's your only source of validation, but because he reflects back to you all the goodness you may have overlooked. This kind of love helps you evolve emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. He challenges you, but not in a way that breaks you down. He challenges you to be your best, to confront your fears, to believe in your dreams, and to never settle for less than your full potential. He holds you accountable when necessary, but always with grace and compassion. He doesn't enable stagnation. He encourages movement, progress, and purpose. When a man loves you, his presence makes your life richer, not more complicated. He doesn't drain your energy with uncertainty, manipulation, or neglect. Instead, he contributes. He brings clarity, consistency, and calm. His love teaches you that relationships aren't supposed to hurt all the time. They're not meant to make you question your worth, sacrifice your boundaries, or silence your voice. Burness is often the result of being unheard, unseen, or unloved. But with a man who truly cares for you, you are acknowledged, appreciated, and cherished. You don't feel the need to constantly protect yourself from pain because you're not always bracing for disappointment. You begin to soften in the safest way, not in weakness, but in the strength that comes from knowing you are deeply and genuinely loved. You may find yourself becoming more patient, more hopeful, and more at peace, not because life is easier, but because his love strengthens you from the inside out. His belief in you makes you want to rise, and his consistency makes you feel secure enough to fly. You are not left bitter from confusion, betrayal, or emotional chaos. You are left better because you've known a love that respected your soul, protected your peace, and honored your journey. So in the end, when a man truly loves you, it's not just something you hear, it's something you live. It's in the stability of his presence, the gentleness of his touch, the honesty in his words, and the respect in his actions. His love becomes a safe place, a place where you grow, thrive, and feel at home. You won't have to chase it, question it, or constantly prove your worth to keep it, because when it's real, it's steady, it shows up, it gives, it listens, it honors, and most importantly, it brings out the best in you. So don't settle for anything less than love that leaves you whole, not hollow. Love that builds you up, not breaks you down. Because when a man truly loves you, the evidence is undeniable and the impact is unforgettable. Thank you.